My name's Martin Radich. I've got a film screening at the festival called Crack Willow. I was born in London in England, but from a very early age I was raised in Blackpool, which is a seaside resort on the northwest coast of England. I applied for an art and design course in Bournemouth. From then I got a place at a degree course studying film and television at Edinburgh College of Art. From there I moved to Leeds, which is in the north of England, and I've been there for about 9 years, where I try and make a meagre living as a filmmaker and as a director of photography. I don't think I ever consciously decided that directing is what I wanted to do. I think it kind of evolved that way. I'd always had an interest in visual communication. The cinema or the film industry in Britain is quite tough, especially if you want to make films that are perhaps not going to make a great deal of money. There is very little finance and funding for film in the UK, and there's a lot of talent, a lot of competition for that money. I think that the problems a director has in this country, I suppose, are similar to the problems in other countries throughout the world. It takes a great deal of money to make a film. I think the only advice I could give is simply just, you've got to go and do it. I think it's no good sitting and waiting for somebody to come up to you with a pot of money and say, here, go ahead and make a film. I think you've got to demonstrate your skills and your talent. So I always try and advise. I'm very excited and proud that Milan have selected Crack Willow to show at their festival. You know, it's a kind of an experimental film. I kind of play around with the narrative structure and the way of kind of communicating those ideas to the audience. And I think if you prepare to let a story be told to you in an unconventional way, then I think you can get a lot from the film. Crack Willow was invented, it was made up from day to day. We began with enough ideas to see us through the first week, so that from there on after we made up the story with camera in hand. So initially it was a 3-stranded narrative, but as the filming progresses you kind of decide to follow one route as opposed to another, because it opens up so many other possibilities and opportunities. So there is certainly one character now who spans the whole length of the narrative, and the other two become kind of symbolic representations of his state of mind at that point within his journey. So there's a lot of kind of improvisation in the film, and often that would just involve me giving the main character phrases or sentences, and if he peppered them throughout the scene, then the content or the purpose would come through. So it was a very organic, spontaneous piece. I've got a website address which is www.martinradich.com, and on there are kind of small clips of films that I've made in the past, and there is certainly a contact address where people can email me, and I'd be more than welcome to have any kind of correspondence with anybody.